আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি আহসানুল হাফিজ। আর আজকে আমরা যে বিল ব্লেয়ারের যে 10 বছর পূর্তি বিং অ্যান্ড মেম্বার অফ পার্লামেন্ট ইন স্কারব্রো সাউথ ওয়েস্ট, এইটা উপলক্ষে আমরা আসলে এখানে যেটা আমাদের বাঙালি এলএবিসি আর কি, লিবারেল অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ বাংলাদেশি কেনেডিয়ানরা একটা সুন্দর প্রোগ্রামের আয়োজন করেছেন এখানে। এবং দিস ইজ টু শো দ্য গ্র্যাটিটিউড অফ বিল লাইক টুয়ার্ডস বিল দ্যাট বিল আমাদের কমিউনিটির জন্য 10 বছর যে নিরলসভাবে পরিশ্রম করেছে, সার্ভ করেছে, নট অনলি ফর আমাদের কমিউনিটি, লাইক দিস ইজ ফর লাইক অল দ্য কেনেডিয়ানস। এবং পুরা অন্টারিও এবং যেটা হচ্ছে স্কারব্রো সাউথ ওয়েস্টে উনি একটা ভালো ভূমিকা রেখেছেন। এবং আমাদের অনারেবল বিল ব্লেয়ার যেটা হচ্ছে যে উনি আমাদের ডিফেন্স মিনিস্টার ছিলেন, ফর্মার ডিফেন্স মিনিস্টার, এবং আপনারা জানেন যে উনি অলমোস্ট 50 ইয়ার্স অন দ্য পাবলিক সার্ভিস, উনি টরন্টো পুলিশের চিফ ছিলেন। তো দিস ইজ এ নাইস গ্যাদারিং। উই ক্যান সি লাইক আমাদের স্কারব্রো সাউথ ওয়েস্ট এবং এখানে ডিফারেন্ট কমিউনিটির মানুষ, নট অনলি ফ্রম বাংলাদেশ। আমরা এখানে দেখি যে আমাদের অনেক চাইনিজ কেনেডিয়ান অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের প্রেসিডেন্ট, এবং আই ক্যান সি লট অফ লাইক ফ্রম ফিলিপিনো কমিউনিটি অ্যাজ ওয়েল। এবং আরেকজন আমাদের ভিতরে যে অতিথি আছেন আমাদের অনারেবল মারিয়া মিনা, একটা সময় উনিও আমাদের কমিটির জন্য অনেক বিশেষ অবদান রেখেছিলেন। আর গুড টু সি আমাদের আসলে এখানে অনেক বড় গ্যাদারিং এটা, আর ফ্রম ডিফারেন্ট কমিউনিটিস, আর খুবই ভালো লাগছে এখানে। আর আসলে লট টু লার্ন। আর this is I think only dedicated towards Bill Blair for his service for this community, for his service towards our country. আর থ্যাংক ইউ NRB সবসময় আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকার জন্য, ধন্যবাদ।
Hello, good evening. My name is Maria Mina. I'm a former Minister for International Development and former Liberal Minister, and also former Member of Parliament for Beaches East York. We're here tonight to celebrate Bill Blair's, the Honourable Bill Blair. Blair's 10 years in politics. This is a Liberal event with the Canadian Bengali Liberal Association that is being organised by Ali Muhaidari, who's a great supporter, obviously, and a great organizer. And we're just going to enjoy the evening and talk about some great successes and some great times, and also some of the difficult times in politics. But I am looking forward to the evening with Bill. He deserves it. Bill has been, was, as you know, the former chief of police for Toronto. Then he became a parliamentarian, and then he became a minister under Justin Trudeau. And now here we are, 10 years later. Time flies. But I'm hoping that, I know that everyone here tonight will have a great time. Thank you.
I'm very honored to be here tonight among many, many friends from the Liberal Party here in Scarborough Southwest. We are all together acknowledging the teamwork that we have contributed to serving the community of Scarborough Southwest. For me, it has been a great honor and a privilege to serve this community for 40 years as a police officer and as Toronto's police chief, and then 10 years as the Member of Parliament representing this riding. I am very grateful to the people of Scarborough Southwest for every opportunity that they have given me to serve this community and my country. Thank you.
To call Honorable Maria Mina, former Minister of Canada. She don't need actually introduction. She's very well known to everyone. Please pick your hands for Honorable Maria Mina.
you, Hydrate, for this lovely evening, because he is the one that got us all going. And also we're here, as you all know, to honor the Honorable Bill Blair. And I don't think I need to introduce him to all of you, but I will anyway, because this is a special time and for our democracy, a special time for a lot of things, and it's good to honor Bill. And it's also an unusual thing. We generally don't get around to honor a politician. That usually we're attacking politicians. So this is kind of a nice thing. It's a nice evening, it's a fun one, and it's a good one. And I want to thank all of you for coming, first of all, on this cold evening in January, but also the organizers for this wonderful evening to honor Bill and some of all of us. So I'm going to talk to you about Bill because that's why we're here at the outset, so then we can also party later. So the Honorable Bill Blair served the people of Toronto for over 39 years, starting as a beat officer in downtown Toronto and continued with assignments in drug enforcement, organized crime units, and major criminal investigations. Promoted to senior ranks of the Toronto Police Service, his postings included Division Commander, Community Policing Programs, and Detective Operations, responsible for all specialized investigative units, including the Homicide Squad, Sex Crimes Unit, Fraud Squad, Forensic Identification Services, Intelligence Services, and Organized Crime Enrollment, including the Guns and Gangs Unit, and the Repeat Offender Program. So, as you can see, he was a pretty busy guy. In 2005, Bill was named Chief to the Toronto Police Services, overseeing the largest municipal police service in Canada and one of the largest in North America. I met Bill for the first time when he was, in fact, police chief when I was elected in 1993 at a community event. So that shows you that his interest in community was always there and encouraging community policing. As Chief of Police, he oversaw important efforts to combat violent crime while supporting local policing initiatives through community response units and the neighborhood police officer program. Bill also served as president of both the Ontario and Canadian Association of Police Chiefs of Police. Bill retired as Chief of Police in April 2015, creating a plan for the legalization and strict regulation of cannabis. In 2017, Bill received additional responsibilities for the cannabis file as Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Health. In July 2018, Bill was named to Cabinet as Minister of Border Security and Organized Crime Reduction. Following his re-election in October 2015, he was reappointed to Cabinet as the Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness. In this role, Bill was one of the lead ministers responsible for the Government of Canada's response to COVID-19 and brought forward a ban on assault rifle weapons in May 2020. Those of you who were around, I'm sure remember the COVID-19 and Bill's work during that period as well. In 2021, Bill was named President of the Queen's Privy Council for Canada and Minister of Emergency Preparedness. In this role, Bill coordinated and convened the federal response for disasters while strengthening Canada's preparedness across all hazards. In recognition of his contributions to the policing profession, Bill was named an Officer of the Order of Merit of the Police Forces in 2007, becoming a Commander of the Order of Merit in 2012. He is the proud recipient of the 2011 Beth Shalom Brotherhood Humanitarian Award, a member of the Most Venerable Order of St. John, and was honored in 2013 by the Canadian Tamil Congress for his leadership and tremendous service for the people of Toronto. Bill holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Toronto with dual disciplines of economics and criminology, a certificate in law enforcement administration from the University of Toronto, a certificate in criminal justice from the University of Virginia. He is a graduate of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Academy, the Police Leadership Program of the University of Toronto, Rotman School of Business Management, and the National Executive Institute. So, as you can see, he has a great deal to commend him for all of those jobs he's held in his career. And without further ado, I really want to invite the Honorable Bill Blair to the podium to give us his
Good evening, everyone. And first of all, let me begin by thanking Adari for organizing and bringing us all together into the remarkable Maria Mina. For that extraordinary and somewhat long introduction. I apologize. I was explaining to my table colleagues that when you've been in public service for 50 years, your CVs tend to go on and on. I wanted to acknowledge, first of all of you. I look around this room and I see many, many good friends. People who have made it possible for me to continue to serve the people of my community and my country. And I want to begin by expressing my very sincere gratitude to each and every person of Scarborough Southwest and to all of the people who have volunteered and worked on various campaigns to assist me in having the remarkable privilege of serving this community. And as Maria has already shared with you, I spent much of my life in public service. I began as a beat cop in Regent Park, where I thought when I first became a police officer, my primary job was to enforce the law. And I learned very quickly when I was assigned into a neighborhood, a great neighborhood full of great families, that my real job was to serve them, to keep them safe, to help them live the lives that they sought in Canada. There were newcomers from all over the world. They come from every country, they spoke every language, they practiced every faith, they knew every culture, but they were facing the struggles of being newcomers. And I learned very quickly my job was to help them achieve the dream of being great Canadians and raising children who could prosper in this great country. And over the course of my police career, I was given many opportunities to continue to serve in my community. And I tried to bring what I had learned as a beat cop in Regent Park to that task. To understand the importance of connecting with people and to working closely with the people of your community and to recognize the leadership that exists within communities. And I look around this room and I see many people who I know to be great leaders in their community. And one of the jobs of a politician at any order of government, whether you're federal, provincial, or municipal, is to help mobilize the strength and leadership of community, to serve all of the people of our community. And I want to acknowledge, as we together acknowledge the last 10 years of opportunity that I've been given to serve this community, that I think we are a stronger community as a result of the work that we have done together over the past 10 years. I also want to share with you, when I was completing my policing career, I was asked what I was going to do next, and I said, I spent my life in public service, I just want to stay in service. I want to stay in service to my community. And everybody thought I was talking about politics, and I wasn't. But I almost immediately got a phone call from Mr. Mulcair, from Mr. Harper, and Mr. Trudeau, all saying, we want you to run for office, run for us. And I think it probably had something to do with I had a lot of name recognition from my previous roles. And so I met with them all. I met with all three leaders. And I asked them the question, why? Why would I choose to get involved in politics? What's the purpose? And what's the goal of getting involved as a politician to serve as a member of parliament in this great country? And I will tell you that some of the conversations were disappointing to me because they talked about winning, they talked about power, they talked about getting reelected, and then they said, and we'll get reelected and you'll get a seat. I said, I'm not looking for a place to sit down. I want to know what the job is, what we're going to do, how we're going to serve Canadians. And I had a different conversation with one of the leaders who didn't talk about winning and he didn't talk about power. He talked about the values of his party. He talked about the history and the values and what he envisioned and dreamed of for this country. He talked about creating an inclusive and strengthening an inclusive country. He talked about creating opportunity for the most vulnerable. He talked about making sure that everyone could prosper and everyone could enjoy the rights and freedoms that were enshrined in our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And I have to say I was inspired by that conversation, but I
I then went and spoke to a political friend of mine who's a very conservative man, and we had lunch together, and I said, how do you make this decision? And he said, don't worry too much about the politics, Bill. He says, it's about values and leadership. And when he said that to me, I knew where I belong. And the day after I retired as the police chief, I did my first political event running for office to represent this riding as the Liberal Member of Parliament. And so as I look around this room, I am reminded of why I made that choice. Because everyone in this room shares those values. Everyone in this room embodies for me, and the people of this community embody for me those values. The values of living together in peace and in harmony and in safety, and working together to make sure that everyone can succeed, and to make sure that everyone is treated with the respect and dignity that all Canadians deserve. And so, I will conclude my brief remarks by saying thank you again. It has been an enormous privilege to serve this community. By the way, I'm not done. But as many of you are aware, the Prime Minister and I have had conversations about other ways in which I may be able to continue to serve my country. I am grateful for every opportunity that I have been given to serve Canada, my communities, and all of you. And I am very much looking forward to an opportunity to continue to serve Canada, my community, and all of you. And I am very grateful to each and every one of you, and in particular to the people of Scarborough Southwest, for giving me the opportunity over the past 10 years to serve my community. It has been the honor and privilege of a lifetime. Thank you.
I would now like to call on Hydre and members of the organization to come up. I understand you have something to give Bill before he runs off. The Liberal Association that's organized this evening has got a gift, something for Hydre, as you can see. A nice
Very warm my acceptance. Oh, that's very kind.
We'll continue with the program. Thank you. Congratulations, Bill. And thank you for spending the time with us tonight. This is great. So now I would like to invite Alimul Hydre to come up and say a few words to thank him for because he is, after all, the lead of this organization. Come up and say a few words. And I think that Raful Saeed is going to come up with him to say something as well. The two of you maybe can come up together. You're going to speak. All right. So it will be, Raful will speak then on behalf of the organization. Mike is yours.
Maria, and as every Hydriangle organized program goes, he hands me the mic. So I want to thank everyone for being here this evening. I hope you've all defrosted enough. So tonight is obviously an appreciation night and a moment to pause and recognize service and acknowledge relationships and institutions that quietly make our democracy work. We are here first and foremost to recognize the Honorable Bill Blair, Member of Parliament for Scarborough Southwest and a Minister of the Crown, and very proudly a son of Scarborough. I didn't hear a standing ovation for Mr. Blair yet, so I'd like everyone to give him applause for all his service. Thank you. So Minister Blair has always treated public office as responsibility, not performance, which in today's political climate already makes him a rare species. He shows up, he listens, and he builds trust, and he does it without needing to remind everyone he's doing it. For the Bangladeshi community, and for many communities across Scarborough, the Honorable Bill Blair has been more than an MP or a minister. He's been a steady presence, a reliable partner, and someone who understands that strong communities aren't built with slogans, they're built with relationships. And that trust didn't appear overnight. So, you know, the organization organizing this is LABC. LABC has taken its roots from 1998 when they first started working with the Honorable Maria Mina in Beaches, East York. LABC chose engagement over isolation and patience over posturing, and that has led them to now have connections in almost 25 cities across Canada, connecting Bangladeshi Canadians coast to coast to democratic life of this country. That includes leaders like Ali Moor Haidari, who forever refuses to get on stage, but he'll gladly organize an amazing dinner. Kafiluddin Parvez, Rezal Talukdar, and my father, Syed Samsul Alam, among many other pioneers who understood something very clearly as Bangladeshis, which is that we know what happens to a country when it runs on rhetoric instead of responsibility, political emptiness instead of institutions, and chance instead of plans. And we've seen that movie before. It doesn't end well, and the sequel's always worse, kind of like Disney taking over Star Wars. That lived understanding is why our community aligned itself perfectly with the Liberal Party, not because it's flashy, but because it believes in long-term thinking, planning, nation building, rather than jabs or outrage. Our community has never been one to believe in shortcuts to influence. We believe in doing the work, respecting the process, and earning trust over time. And that is something that the Honorable Bill Blair exemplifies perfectly and has done for his entire career, which took Maria almost 10 minutes to go over. And this form of politics has never been transactional. It's always been relationship-based public service. And that's what the Liberal Party as well embodies. And in doing that, Bill Blair has, So tonight, I just want to thank you, Bill Blair. We met in 2015. Somehow, after 16 years of sitting in front of the Pierre Polyev clown show, you're the one who ends up with a head full of hair, and I'm the one balding. So I don't know how you've done that, but I commend you. So again, thank you for your service, your partnership, and your genuine friendship with our communities. And thank you to the LABC leaders who built the bridge in 1998 and expanded it nationwide. What tonight reminds us is that strong institutions are built quietly by people who show up year after year, long after the spotlight moves on. And Bill, again, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for always being kind, approachable, and honestly, genuinely a pleasure to be around. Every time I see you, you're cheerful, and it's a tough job that you're doing. To see you so happy every time, to see everyone, call everyone a friend, give my dad a hug even though you're a foot taller than him, so that in itself is public service, so thank you from everyone.
Very well done. Those words and comments remind me of something that I think Bill and I know very well, and that is that the Liberal Party in the format here is part of the Bangladesh Association, but also the Liberal Party at large, whether it's regional or Canada-wide, when we go to conventions, whatever. It is actually a big family. And I never forget when the Reform Party, which are the current Conservatives, whatever, were elected in Ottawa. There was a problem that happened. Unfortunately, one of my colleagues passed away in the chamber. But they came across and said, they noticed how we pulled together. And she said, you really are a family. I said, yeah, that's what we are. We are a family. Yes, we spar and we fight for our positions and we argue over issues and policies at the National Convention or wherever. But we, at the end of the day, love, respect or follow the same values, live by the same values, and our family, and we gel. And to prove that, just to show the family, I was elected in '93, the first time in Beaches. And I have the same crew year after year that run my elections, run my office, and guess what? They're all here tonight. Well, my table of Beaches East York, stand up back there. All of my workers, or the leaders in my office, here they are. And by the way, ladies, they're all women except for two fellas here. They're not, anyway, never mind. But the point is, we are a family. And I see lots of different families here tonight. Anyway, so moving on, I'd like to ask Mr. Kazir Dar, Chair of the Liberal Party of Canada, Ontario, to come up now. Where are you? There you go. And he has a few things to do and say a few words, and then he has a couple of other chores he's going to do.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. Thank you, Maria, for your tireless leadership and hard work and dedication. Before we go to Bill, I want to talk a few seconds about LABC and the contribution of the Canadian of Bangladeshi heritage. It's not just in here in Toronto or Scarborough. I have the footprint of Canadian or Bangladeshi heritage not only in London, Ontario, Windsor, Hamilton, in Quebec. I went to Saskatoon. I have a great organization there as well. So I just wanted to, on behalf of the Liberal Party Canada, on behalf of one Canadian to another Canadian, thank you so much. Thank you, Babu Hadri, and all your team to put this together. So give us a round of applause. We also have two wonderful MPP at opposite Janik, Andrew Hazel. So if you can stand up and we can recognize them as well. And Maria talked about a liberal family, and I know the path which I am walking on as a chair of Ontario is paved by a number of folks, and I have one fantastic person is here, former president of the Liberal Party of Canada and LPCO, Mark Rowley is here. Good afternoon. I think you can be a little generous with your clap, it's okay. I was thinking about Bill. You know, his career is a 72-year-long career which is full of service, compassion, and sacrifice. You know, in our life, we do one or two things which require a sacrifice. As a father of a police officer, myself, my son is 2 years ago, he decided, I'm not going to be a doctor after spending like $250,000. I'm going to join an RCMP. So today he just came back from Nunavut, and then he's a special crime unit, and he's never home. He's the only son they have. So my wife always complained that how do you let him join RCMP? He said, he never asked me. He told me after he got selected. So I couldn't say no to that. So after spending so long as a police and law enforcement, that is a quality of true leadership that he continued when the call came and said yes to that, Bill. That is no ordinary thing. And we know last 10 years as a member of parliament, as a minister, it wasn't easy. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your service. I really appreciate that. And I know things are not finalized yet, and I know we can't say much, but as a former employee of Global Affairs Canada, I know it's not easy, the task ahead. And that's what he asked Bill. He said, Bill, what's your plan next? Are you not done yet? At the Lorry Club event in December. And he said, Dar, I'm just getting started. So, Bill, we're impressed with your courage, commitment, and service once again. You know, we did this a standing ovation. Let's do one more time. Let's stand up and give him a huge round of applause. It goes loud and loud for it. So with that, I am very lucky and very humble to, in the time frame which is, we have a Prime Minister who, in this challenging time, showing a lot of courage and you know, confidence and courage and decisiveness. And we have leaders like Bill and Maria Mina and so many others. And I'm looking at this crowd, and I'm sure there's so many more leaders will come forward and serve the country exactly the way we're learning from the Honorable Bill Blair. Thank you very much. I was told that there's a couple of certificates I have to deliver as well. Where is Asma Fees? And also I want to recognize the young Liberal president in the back there as well. Jason, will you wave yourself? He is the president of the Young Liberal for Ontario, hey? You know, it's not very common. When I last elected, I said, one thing I'll do, I'll go around writing to recognize the volunteers. And we started this from Mississauga and some other writings. So we have a couple of folks we're going to recognize. I'm going to pass on the mic to Hafiz. Hafiz, by the way, is the Vice President of Liberal Party Canada for the province of Ontario. Very good.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I don't want to say too much because we want to wrap it up very fast because you know we are from Bangladesh and one of our main entertainment for any program is food. So I don't want to hold it back for too long. And as our Mr. President mentioned that I'm Hassanul Hafiz and I am the Vice President for Liberal Party of Canada for Ontario Province. And just a little bit about, I'm not going to take too long. And I think I met LABC since 2021. We had during COVID, it was very challenging, no public gatherings. And I think Liberal Party of LPCO, we organized something in Toronto. And that was the first time actually I met with Ali Nur Haidari Bhai and Samsul Alam Bhai and many other folks from Parvez Bhai from Toronto. And because our politics mainly we are more focused on Toronto, Danforth area and other areas. I'm not putting anybody down, but when they said we are from Bangladesh and we wanted to do a meeting with Susan Khan, our past party president, and Susan was telling, is not our Hafiz is from Bangladesh origin? They said yes. They said, why don't we include Hafiz in the meeting as well? So that was the first time, 2021, I met with all these great gentlemen and they had so much passion and dedication for this Liberal Party. And this is like unparalleled. They had so much love, passion, dedication, and the same I had, with the Liberal Party since I got involved 2013 with the Liberal Party. And so thank you for organizing, such a great event. And thank you again, our Honorable Bill Blair, for your dedication, for your service for this community. And he always made sure we are safe because he was a police chief and then former defense minister. So he always made sure we are safe, country is safe. So thank you very much for all of your hard work. And I would like to recognize our young Liberal President, Jason is here, Vice President Aima is here, and a few other folks from, please give them a round of applause. So when I asked them, they came all the way from Waterloo and everywhere to help us out, you know what I mean? And we would like to present Ali Nur Haidari Bhai and also Samsul Bhai with some a small token from LPCO, Liberal Party of Canada, Ontario Province, please. No, not one, they will not share. And thank you. Haidari Bhai, please. This is from LPCO. Please come. Come.
Honorable guests, today this honor, not for me, this honor for Liberal. Since 1983, I'm a volunteer for the Liberal. And then, slowly, we try to grow up and we are now one of the best leaders got in the world, Mark Carney. Under his leadership, and one of the best Ontario leaders, Liberal Party, we got a Kasid Dham. And one of the best, our communities, running leader, Hassan Hafiz. This leader, and this is coming from our team LBC, like Afia, Marjia, Talukdar Bhai, Alam Bhai, Mahbub Anam, and Dr. Shawan, Bester Adnan. There are so many things I cannot remember. This effort for everybody, not for me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, have a wonderful day. Another word I want to say, tonight, after many things, we made it our night tonight. There is so many reasons. This is what I say. We made it our right. And I'm very much appreciated. I'm very much respectful to Mr. Blair. He gives us his own time. And another thing, I'm a soldier of Honorable Maria Mina. I always follow Maria Mina. And since 1990, I'm soldier, our team is soldier for Maria Mina. Thanks again, Honorable. Alam Bhai, can say something.
First of all, we are grateful to our leaders and all those gentlemen and women came to join this party. So we are liberals. We believe in liberal. I am actually born in liberal, as a liberal. So everything is liberal party. You support and work hard to get the provincial also. Next election, we need a provincial government also liberal party. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you know, Alba is the finest restaurant. If you go there and tell them you're liberal, they give you 25% off, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for a great job. Well done there. By the way, I should say that one of the gang that I used before from my former office wasn't standing up. That's because it's Nahid Sharif who's hiding back there. And she works for Bill. She went from my office to Bill's office, so that was a good thing. Okay, so now I'd like to move on and introduce Mike Crawley. Mike Crawley is a former board member, what have you, just introducing for like hello, nothing else. Sorry, just because we have to move. Okay, and of course, he has done many things in the Liberal Party, and here it is.
It doesn't take long to introduce me because I'm a very simple person. I've got two parts of my life. One is in business, which we were talking about the wind turbines down in Haldimand County earlier tonight with the past Liberal candidate down there provincially. But the other part of my life, which has been much longer, since I was 15 years old, was as a Liberal. I joined up when I was 15 years old, and it's been a really important part of my life throughout, which is why when I was elected president of the Liberal Party of Canada back in 2012, it was at that time and still one of the greatest honors of my life. As much as I felt it was a great honor, at the time, Maria, you would remember this, I got a couple of people pulled me aside and said, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" Because we were climbing out of a terrible defeat. We were in third place, and a lot of people were wondering what would become of the Liberal Party. But we got to work, bit by bit, fundraising, riding outreach, getting new people into the party, and looking for candidates. And I remember there were a number of markers along the way where I started to think, maybe this might just work. And maybe there is something special that we're building. And one of those markers that I clearly remember is when someone said, "I think Chief Bill Blair might run for us as a candidate." I thought, wow, what an endorsement of everything that we're doing, everything that the Liberal Party is about, everything that Justin Trudeau has been talking about. If the man who has been spending his life, his whole career, it is a whole career for a lot of people what you did as chief of police and then with the police service, who's made ourselves feel safe, allowed us to raise our children in safety, send our kids, our teenagers out on a Friday night, knowing that they'll come back safely, at least in terms of, maybe not what they'll do, but in terms of what will happen to them, they'll be safe. Knowing all of that a man like that is going to offer himself for another career in public service as a candidate for the Liberal Party, maybe we truly are building something extraordinary if we've got that kind of endorsement. So I remember that clearly, and I want to thank you for your two huge careers in public service, serving Toronto, serving Canada, and representing Scarborough, and I'm very anxious to hear what's next.
Okay, I have a few other speeches coming your way, not too long, but I know that they're coming. All right, so the first one is I would like to introduce to you, sorry, my glasses, I can't see a lot anymore. All right, don't get old, don't age, it sucks. It does, it just really sucks. Like all these little things are changing. Brad Bradford, Councillor Beaches East York. Brad, would you like to come up, please? My councillor, by the way.
Well, thanks very much, Maria, and such an honor to be here with you tonight. Oh, that's so lovely. I'll give these to my wife when I get home. Thank you. Look, I just want to stop by and say hi to everybody. It's such an honor to be here to celebrate the career and the legacy of Bill Blair. And it was actually many of the friends here in the room tonight, Alambai, Koken, Parvis, Hydre, that actually first introduced me to Bill Blair. And so what I mean to say by that is it was the Bangladeshi community that brokered the relationship and the mentorship and the things that I've been able to work on as a city councilor with Bill Blair. And I remember the first time we met, it was actually at Garora on Danforth, of course, as the foundation of so many meeting places and important conversations about community here in the East End. And, you know, I've been able to take a lot of counsel from Bill over the years. We've been able to work together with the Bangladeshi community to deliver in the community in a really important way, not just for the East End, but for all of Toronto. We've both had the privilege, along with Maria Mena and others, of representing Canada's largest Bangladeshi community in Crescent Town, Dentonia, and on the other side of Victoria Park in Scarborough Southwest in Teesdale. And we have been able to work together to do things like the Shaheen Minar in Dentonia Park, to recognize the contributions of Bangladeshi entrepreneurs and community builders with Banglatown on Danforth. And I want to just say, we wouldn't have been able to do that without the leadership of the community, Rafi, young leaders and others, and of course the guidance, mentorship, and leadership from the Honorable Bill Blair. So when I found out we were celebrating a decade of tremendous work and contribution in the community in Scarborough, in Toronto, a guy who I've looked up to for a long time, I wanted to make sure I stopped by to say thanks so much, Bill. Congrats, thank you for your service, and best of luck in the next chapter. I'm Brad Bradford, Councillor of Beaches East York, grateful to be here, and thanks to Bill Blair. God bless.
Brad, that was, see you in the hustings and the writing. Okay. Okay, so the next speaker is Andrea Hazel, the MPP for Scarborough Guildwood. Andrea?
Thank you. Can you stand here with me and make my picture so beautiful? So, good night, everyone, because it is night, it's really dark outside. How are you feeling tonight? Who are we here for? I am so honored. I am so honored to be at this table sitting with you. I came to Canada as a teenager, and I would look at you on the TV. Did not know, as the world turned, I will get to meet you, I will get to know about you, and I will get to look at you in the eyeballs and say, my culture people loved you for your policing service. And I can't thank you enough. But I want to recognize someone else beyond you today, your family. Because I know how my family suffered from not seeing me. I want to honor them tonight. I want you to tell them, I honor them and I thank them because I know how tough that is. And you've been in service your entire life. And you are our role model, and you will continue to be our role model. And I look up to you. Guys, can you look at that smile? That's the smile that Bill, and there's the smile, there's the smile, there's the smile. And I know sometimes beneath that smile, the road is tough, it's hard, you feel beaten down. But thank you for taking up the baton for Canada, for Ontario, for Scarborough, and for your riding for 10 years. Can you give it up for your best? And I don't know who you're gonna have next, but it will never be repeated. Thank you so much. I love you, Bill. Bill, can you come across here? In my capacity from the provincial level, I reach a capacity, you know, right? And I just want to reward you with this. It's from me to you. Thank you. Yes, I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. So the next person, a few words, is Gary Crawford. Is he in the room? I don't think I actually saw him tonight. No? Okay. My apologies. All right then. So the next person and our last speaker is Rob Siryanek. Sorry, he's MPP. My apologies.
Thank you very much. I have to bring this one home tonight as well. I may or may not mention where I got it from. My name is Rob Serjanik. I'm the Member of Provincial Parliament for Ajax. It's an honor to be here tonight to recognize a man that, I'll be honest, I don't know very well. But I've had the opportunity over many, many years to know people who've known the Honourable Bill Blair. And every single person that I have met that has spoken about Bill Blair has had kind words about him, has said how much integrity he has, his commitment to service, his commitment to caring for not just the community here in Scarborough Southwest, not just the City of Toronto from his time as police chief, but from his time as well in our federal government, serving all Canadians, standing up for our country here at home and for our country abroad. As the Member of Provincial Parliament for Ajax, we talk a lot about provincial issues, and one of those is policing. And as an MPP, and as someone who has the honor to sit in the Ontario Legislature with Andrea Hazel, who is a firecracker, who is the most energizing member of our caucus. She inspires us every day, but when we're in the legislature, we also serve with someone else, Karen McCrimmon. And she was an Army colonel. And she reminds us in our caucus in the legislature of integrity, of honor, of service, of the same things that the Honourable Bill Blair has brought to all of us today. So I'd just like to say from me to you, thank you for your service. Thank you for serving the community. I think back to when you became police chief. I was in high school. And over the last 20 years, I have been able to see an outstanding role model who I now have the opportunity to meet and recognize and thank. So thank you again for all of your service and everything you've done for our city, for our country. Thank you.
Between your dinner and is me. Well, I'm handing over to someone else and entertainment. But I want to thank, first of all, Bill for all of his life's work and what he has done, and everyone else that's come tonight. Thank all of you for doing this. As you know, when I started in politics, well, when I was elected the first time, there were very few Bangladeshi in my riding in the Crescent Town area, because I'm with Beaches East York, right? See, this area. And there were very few. I think Hydra was one of the first that came to help. There were a few others, but overall it was quite small. But over the years, as they arrived from Bangladesh, Crescent Town was their first place. That's where they came. My riding, so very soon I had the largest Bangladeshi community in the province, maybe the country, for a while. And here we are today with a grown community participating, a strong voice in the community, showing themselves and showing leadership, and I think that's wonderful. And I can't even imagine to think what the next generation is going to do. I mean, they're going to just take over. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. It was a real pleasure. And again, congratulations, Bill, for a career well lived and well executed. And my job is to hand over to Parvez. Where are you, Parvez? There he is. There you go. Parvez is going to take over.
Thank you, Maria. I have to share my memory with Maria. 1998, I was in the bank and she was behind me, and I saw you on the TV. Then she said, oh yeah, I'm a member of parliament. She was on the Bishop East York. At that time she was an MP, and she asked me to join the Liberal in 1998. So until now she's become my mentor. Thank you, Maria. And when she called me that 2014, I think she called, said, Parvez, you have to help Bill Blair in 2015, which is bill get nomination process, and she called me, said, you go and Scarborough and help the bill there. So this bill became our good friends. Thank you, Bill Blair. It's an honor today. So now, the floor is, our next floor is for Aman Dilo. Please come to the stage.
Oh, thank you. I will also take this home for someone. Do you need two? I feel like double points. All right, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, can we please give the Liberal Association of Bangladeshi Canadians a big round of applause for putting together such an amazing event. It's not easy to get all of you to come out on what is the coldest day, right? But thank you so much for coming out, and of course recognizing Bill Blair celebrating a decade. Wow, that's amazing. And from everything I'm hearing, so much is coming up. Bill, you're gonna have to tell us, how do you have the energy? Like, is there like a morning routine? Do you work out? What brand of iron pills do you take? Ladies, you all know the iron pills.
35 cups of coffee.
How many cups of coffee? 35, okay. My doctor told me to cut myself off at 2, but maybe I'll try yours. But again, big shout out to the association for bringing us together. And as they said, dinner is about to be served. But before we get to that, we can't have a gathering without a performance. So right now, we're gonna clear the dance floor. So I just wanna make sure you're aware there's gonna be a big performance here. We have so much talent in Scarborough, as everybody knows. So we're very lucky that we have one of our own local talented dancers who's gonna be performing. She is a classically trained artist. She has her own school here as well, so if anyone has ever wanted to learn. And we're so fortunate that she's here with her students to perform a patriotic folk dance from Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. So I've been told before dinner, before the performance, there's a car that's about to be towed. Scarborough, can't we do that? We can't be making sure there's a car being towed. Just quickly, license plate CXCJ672. Andrea, is this your car? No, Is it Bill's? Bill's, I feel like it's okay. We won't tow you, but license plate CXCJ672. Are we gonna tow it? Are we gonna give it 5 minutes? Half an hour, maybe after dinner? No? Okay, anyways. Please move your car. But with that, please help me welcome Aruna Haider and her dancers. Please, big round of applause.
আমাকে কাজ ঘেরা বোঝে না যে চালাইতেছে তো
you die. The one you love. Hold me in your arms tonight. I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain. I will stand by you forever. You can take all your breath away. When my daddy could.
মাঝির ভাটিয়ালি সুরে দেশ রাখালিয়া বাসি বহুদূর থেকে ভেসে ভেসে আসে, সেখানে দেশের কথা।
গধূলি বেলায় বাউলের একতারা ঝংকার তোলে, তারপর মনে হয় একতারা আরো বাজুক, বলতে ইচ্ছে হয়।
Yeah.
was a performance. Thank you. Big hand for Una Haider.
Good evening. My name is Cass Sadar. I'm the chair of Ontario for the Liberal Party of Canada. Today I'm in Scarborough to celebrate the fantastic career in both in politics and in law enforcement for the Honorable Bill Blair. All his life, as a law enforcement person or a policeman or a minister or a member of parliament, he always remember one thing is serving the community, and he also make a lot of sacrifices. At this point, I want to thank you for all the sacrifices made, not only him, but also his family as well. We owe them, and I know the bill said he's just getting started. He's young and looking forward to the new chapter of his life, which is we're all rooting for him. And all the best to Bill and his family. Also like to thank you, our friends for Canadian of Bangladeshi community, who bring hundreds of people together to celebrate the career and the life of our friend Bill Blair, which is going strong and well. Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Bengali community. Thanks so much.
Congratulations, Bill Blair, on a lifetime of service here in Scarborough Southwest and across Toronto. But we know that your contributions will not be over, and you're going to do so much more for all of Canada. Thank you for everything that you've done.
আজকে আমাদের এখানে কিউসিস ব্যাংকুয়েট হলে এলএবিসি থেকে এলএবিসি মিনস লিবারেল অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি তো ক্যানাডিয়ানস সবাই এখানে আজকে জড়ো হয়েছে বিকজ আমাদের এমপি অনারেবল এমপি বিল ব্লেয়ারের 10 বছর তার কর্মজীবন সফল হলো। তো এই সফলতাকে নিয়েই আমাদের এই অর্গানাইজেশন আজকে একটি প্রোগ্রাম এখানে লঞ্চ করেছে। আমরা সবাই মিলে এখানে জড়ো হয়েছে, আমাদের কমিউনিটির সব লিডার্স, কমিউনিটির যত ভাই বোন আছে সবাই আছে এখানে আমাদের এই প্রোগ্রামে। এবং এখানে আমাদের এহসানুল হাফিজ ভাই, উনিও আমাদের হয়ে কাজ করছেন এই কমিউনিটিতে। উনি অনেক দিন ধরে আছেন আমাদের সাথে। আমরা ওনার সুস্বাস্থ্য, দীর্ঘায়ু এবং সব কিছু কামনা করছি এবং সামনে যেন উনি আরও বেশি এগিয়ে যেতে পারে সেই হিসাবে আমরা কামনা করছি। ধন্যবাদ।